Welcome in, Slumpbusters, Longhorns fans, and whoever may be tuning into this video just to see my despair as once again the Texas Longhorns have lost a lead in the fourth quarter and proceeded to lose such game. This will be the fourth Longhorns loss on the season as they've lost to Arkansas, Oklahoma State, and now Baylor. Once again, they were leading this game. They were up by multiple scores heading into the fourth quarter and just gave it up. Bijan Robinson had a mid-level game as he only had 40 rushing yards on the ground. And I think that's part of the problem right now. This team just needs a second pitch when Bijan isn't at his best. Because if you go back to the Oklahoma game, when Oklahoma actually started containing Bijan in the second half, that's when the wheels started falling off the bus a little bit for the offense. And Casey Thompson's fine and all, but obviously they need a massive improvement at the quarterback position, because you look at that chance they had with the ball late to drive and couldn't even gain a yard on it. I think they need better quarterback play. Their defense obviously needs to be a little bit more clutch, because obviously you're giving up all these leads. That's where I kind of give Sark the benefit of the doubt, because obviously this isn't his team. And what I mean by that, obviously this isn't the defense that he recruited. Todd Herman recruited this defense. Todd Herman's gone. Now, I think part of the problem is if you're a Longhorns fan and you're looking at Steve, you're kind of feeling like another Todd Herman. You're kind of feeling like another coach that's not, you're good, but you're not good enough. You're not really putting this team in a position to win the Big 12 championship or certainly compete for the college football playoffs. And obviously this team is going to the SEC next year. Now, you lost 3 big Big 12 games this year. So 3 Big 12 games against your rivals when you talk about Oklahoma State, and Baylor. You want to at least win one of those games. You want to at least win 2 of those games. Baylor, you would say, probably was the best chance at winning, considering Oklahoma State, they were coming into your guys' matchup undefeated. Oklahoma, obviously the same. If you would have won the Oklahoma game, everything else from this point would have been gravy. The fan base would have forgiven probably this loss if you just blocked down the win in Red River. But unfortunately, unable to capitalize on that opportunity there, now you're in a position where the fans are starting to look at you and like, should we be a little bit aggressive? Should we put our name into potentially a Urban Meyer sweepstakes again? I know Urban Meyer turned us down this offseason, but after a rough year in Jacksonville, is that potentially on the table again? I think that that's the type of mentality that a lot of the best college football organizations have. You look at LSU, what they did, firing Ed Ogeron, a guy that won a national title. Guess what? They did the same thing to Les Miles, a guy who won the national title, because their standards are national title or bust. What is Texas' standard now? Is our standard 8 wins, 10 wins, just being in the top 25, being talked about? Because obviously that's not good enough for the fans. The fans tasted national championship in the early 2000s, and that's an expectation. You're in one of the most premier cities in America, Austin, Texas. You have a great brand behind you in the Texas Longhorns. You have certain expectations when you coach a team of this level. Obviously, I know for a fact they're going to give him a couple more years because Sark hangs his hat on recruiting, but he's also earned the nickname when he was in the Pac-12 of 7-win Sark. Well, it's not just 7-win Sark. Now you're all starting to blow all these late leads. So I joked about it a couple weeks ago, but what kind of habits did you pick up from the Atlanta Falcons? Because Sark, again, you can't keep blowing these fourth quarter leads. That's also in coaching. That's really a big coaching point when you keep blowing fourth quarter leads, because you're putting your team in a position to get there, but you're taking your foot off the pedal when it matters. And with this move to the SEC impending, that's worrisome. I mean, if we're struggling in the Big 12, seriously, if we're struggling in the Big 12, what is our hope in the SEC? Ole Miss, Arkansas, a team that we lost to earlier in the year, we're going to be facing them a lot more often. You're still going to have to deal with Oklahoma. You're going to get Alabama occasionally on their schedule. Hell, Kentucky's on the rise. This is concerning. Hopefully they fix it. But I didn't think at this point in the season I would be talking about another comeback loss. I thought this would be a game in which the Longhorns could win, kind of earn back a little bit of national respect. Obviously, you have a lighter end of the season when you talk about Kansas and Kansas State on your schedule. You could finish strong, but losing 4 of your biggest games on your schedule, losing all 4 of the big games on your schedule is not something that a lot of fans are going to be happy about. Beating TCU just isn't enough. Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Who do you put most of the blame on? Drop that in the comments below. If you're not a Longhorns fan, then just, I don't know, mock me in the comments. That's fine. I don't care. Leave a like on this video because, hey, it helps the channel. It helps the algorithm. Helps get us out there. Slumpbuster Podcast on IG and Slumpbuster Pod on Twitter. Follow us on our social medias. And check out our partner, cavemancoffeeco.com. Yes, don't be a chump. Use promo code SLUMP at cavemancoffeeco.com. Juju Talk Sports. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. See you next time.